if you're listening to this in the car and you're on your way home,
we'll be in
turn
your
around
house.
because we're in your house.
We're in your house. Welcome back, listeners, to the Horror Junkies Podcast. This is Mike,
Pat, Dylan,
and today we are interviewing a special guest. We have Paul Scheer from the movie Splice.
Slice.
I keep saying Splice.
Splice is another weird movie.
Another weird movie. And other movies like Hell Baby, Piranha 3D, and Piranha 3 Double D. How you doing today, Paul?
I'm doing great, and I would like to have been in Splice.
I was just about to ask you.
Movies of all time.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
He definitely has sex with that alien. That's a weird thing.
That's a fact. Is it an alien? No, it's a genetic
thing. Mutated thingamajiggy.
Yeah.
But thank you again for taking the time and talking to us on our podcast. We really enjoyed Slice. It was freaking hilarious. But I think, as always, we always interview our guests. We ask them one crucial question, and that would be,
what's your top 5 favorite scary movies?
Oh, man, this is a really tough question.
It always is.
I think, all right, well, you know what? I'm just going to go with my gut.
Go with your gut. Always go with the gut.
I love The Thing. John Carpenter's
Hell
The
yeah.
Thing is, one of my quintessential favorite horror films. I have to say that my real introduction into horror came through Scream.
oh, my favorite.
Which was kind of my first. It was kind of a pivotal movie in that I felt it was the first time I could really enjoy a horror movie because I think I was too scared of Freddy and Jason when I was a little kid. So that is definitely something that really sticks out with me. I'm also a big Psycho fan.
Yes.
The original Psycho.
Yeah.
Not the Vince Vaughn one.
I was just getting ready to say, how about the Vince Vaughn?
It's the same movie.
And now it's a little tricky because I love something like The Conjuring.
Yeah.
And I love The Babadook.
Oh, yes.
Those are so great, and Get Out, but I feel like they're so recent they can't put them on the list. And, I feel the same way Cabin in the Woods. All those movies are horror movies that I really, really love.
Yeah.
But I think if I should go back a little bit more and say that I really love. I mean, it's not too old, but 28 Days Later is another kind of great.
Yeah.
But then I'm even forgetting well, I guess Alien is technically a horror movie, right?
Yes, it is.
100%.
I'm gonna say 28 Days Later.
Yeah, 28 Days
I'm gonna say
Later.
28 Days Later. Is that about 5?
Yeah, that's 5. For 28 Days Later is fantastic.
Yeah.
I really love the isolation and loneliness it makes you feel in the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
When he's walking through the streets of London.
Oh, yes. And it's the great thing about
Absolutely.
especially in horror, because it's so genre-based, that you can change your top. I change it every day almost.
Yeah. We're always watching new things and changing our list.
Like right now, Mandy's on my list.
Yeah. Have you gotten a chance to see Mandy yet, Paul?
I have not.
Please.
I have been just waiting to watch it. I'm so excited.
It's utterly insane.
I mean, it looks amazing. Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Yeah,
I want to see that other Nick Cage movie, Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad, yes.
Please watch it.
Another. Yeah.
Mike is raving about that movie.
That movie is so crazy. You get the full Cage rage in that movie.
I've heard about the pool. Yeah, I've heard about the pool table.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That scene's crazy. Yeah, that's a good movie. Nicolas Cage is coming back up with his crazy horror movies. I love it.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've heard that currently you're in the works of writing a reboot for the 1999 Galaxy Quest movie.
Yes. So this kind of was something that I was so excited that I even came to. I was having to take a meeting at Paramount, and they asked me if there's any properties that they had that I would want to work on. And I said, well, I think the only property that you have, but I know it's already kind of filled right now, is Galaxy Quest. And they said, well, actually, that's why we called you in here. We want to talk to you about that thing. Do you have an idea for it? And when I was kind of presented to me as like something I could actually do, I immediately like got too nervous. I was like, no, I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to take that on.
Yeah.
Too much responsibility. I feel like anybody who does like a reboot, you're just like prone to just a lot of hate and whatever. But as I drove home from that meeting, I kept on thinking about the movie, and I was like, oh, you know what? I could do this, and how about that, and what about this? And the big thing that kind of stuck out to me, and where I kind of came to my idea for the show, and what eventually is what Paramount signed off on, is the idea that it's not just a straight-up continuation, and it's not straight-up just a reboot. It's kind of a continuation of the story. I always kind of compare it to like Blade Runner or The Force Awakens. The story is moving forward, so you're getting to enjoy some of the fish out of water stuff with some new characters. Because I think that is the crux of Galaxy Quest, is like, you know, actors in space. I think that that's the promise of the premise. But I also want to revisit these other characters that have already done that, and I just want to make them go back. So sort of. You know, I think like the idea of it, you know, the best pitch I can say is, you know, if Galaxy Quest is Star Trek, this is J.J. Abrams' version of Star Trek, this Galaxy Quest. So it's kind of playing on that idea.
That's amazing.
Because it's a very interesting concept for sure. I mean, like, because you know, Alan Rickman was in the 99 Galaxy Quest, and there's a lot of big Alan Rickman fans out there that like would probably like to see. Yeah. We'd be very curious to see how this goes. I mean, Alan Rickman's one of my favorite actors.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Ever. But would there be a?
Yeah, well, you know, yeah.
Go ahead. What are you saying?
Well, I was going to say, you know, I think at the end of the day, the way I always feel about all this stuff is it will never dilute the original, right? Like,
correct.
No matter what, like, however I feel about whatever reboot or remake or sequel, it never dilutes what I love about the first one. They're two separate entities. But yes, I hope, you know, as a fan of this and as a fan of sci-fi, I think I can pay off on the promise of the premise and also avoid some of the pitfalls that I think a lot of these reboots kind of fall into.
And you seem like you have the just the perfect mindset of a person who, to do a reboot, you know, you just want to make a continuation of something that you love and hopefully give a new take on something else. But, you know, would there be a horror movie that you'd want to reboot, write, or star in, perhaps?
Oh, wow, that's a really interesting thing. You know, wow.
You know, because if Paramount hits you up again,
I'm going back into the idea of The Thing. I mean, The Thing to me, I'm always like, oh, that could be such a funny comedic film.
It really could.
Shaun of the Dead did such an amazing job. You know, I love the idea of kind of mixing, you know, like horror and comedy. I think when it's done really well, you can actually make them both, you know, really, really work.
I agree.
Some of the best horror,
I mean, look, Alien, I wrote a comic book called Aliens versus Parker, which was definitely like a comic take on Aliens. And that was like my attempt at doing something like that. And then I would say, you know, maybe Werewolf in London would be kind of fun.
Oh my God!
Again.
Yeah,
if you want your comedy and your horror mixed together so perfectly,
American Werewolf. That's a good film for that.
Yeah, I think you would crush that. I think it'd be awesome. And, you know, and if Galaxy Quest does good, you could always go back to Paramount and be like, "Yo, let me do Pet Sematary or Silver Bullet."
Right, right. Oh, that would be great too. Yeah. Silver Bullet. Oh.
Silver Bullet could be a good comedic horror mashup, for sure.
Definitely. So, Paul, on your podcast, How Did This Get Made? You ripped into Halloween 3 and more recently The Howling 2. Your sister's a werewolf, or my sister's a werewolf. Is there any horror movies that you're looking at that can make the cut? I know that you guys recently did a show on Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman. I'm looking forward to that episode. But is there any other ones that you're looking at?
Halloween episode.
I'm sorry, what was that?
That's going to be our Halloween episode.
Oh, I can't wait for that. That's a movie, all right.
Yeah, no, I'm subscribed, so I'll find out when it drops.
And I know that you're the movie Slice isn't it also getting its own episode?
Slice is not getting its own episode. I mean, look, I feel like, you know, Slice does fall into that kind of fun, crazy category of just, you know, I think there's, you know, a lot of, you know, look, I think that movie really appeals to like this midnight B movie kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, we're not doing an episode on Slice to kind of avoid any movies that we do.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we literally watched it at midnight eating pizza. So that fits perfectly.
Oh, that's perfect. The best way to watch it.
Yeah.
That's great.
I could just see you on that episode being like, yeah, the guy who ran the pizza shop, that dude's great. Best part of the movie.
And then I guess we can get down into Slice. So like when you were first brought the script, like what were your first impressions of the movie? Were you excited? Was there a character in particular that you were really wanting to play, or was Jack always what you wanted to do?
They offered me the role of Jack. When I first read it, it was interesting because it was so different than anything that I kind of read. I feel like independent film often is, these dramedies or these dramas, and this is such an interesting voice, and it was exciting to me. You have A24, who I think does some great,
the best
great
studio
movies.
right now.
You have Chance the Rapper. Yeah, amazing. And then you have Chance the Rapper, and you have Austin, who directed all these amazing Chance videos.
Yes.
And to me, this movie, I always describe Slice as like a Scooby-Doo via David Lynch, and
I like that.
And I feel like there's elements of, what I liked about Repo Man in here and stuff like that. And I feel like that's kind of what was really appealing to me, is like a young, cool voice doing something completely unique and different, and I like something that feels. This is my son talking.
It's
okay.
Right now. Sorry. It kind of feels like something. It feels something so exciting. I feel like that to me is. I just like working with new voices doing exciting stuff.
Awesome.
I agree to that with Slice. Like it did feel like a new movie.
Yeah, it did. It definitely feels. We laughed fucking hysterically when we were watching Slice. It was so funny. And then I guess another thing is.
Yeah, I feel like it's a movie where.
Well, hello, Paul.
Oh no!
I think we lost him.
Technical difficulties.
Paul, are you there?
We lost Paul.
We lost Paul. Hello?
Hey.
Hey, sorry about that. I was in a parking garage and it just cut off. So I apologize.
It's not a problem at all.
If it happens again, I will call you right back again. But I'm in the outer part of it right now. So
it's not a problem.
Up where I kind of left off. So I think I was saying we were talking about. We're talking about like the David Lynch and Scooby-Doo, right? Was there a question I was answering at that point?
We were asking like what your first impressions were of Slice, like when you first got the script.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So when reading it, I think that the most exciting thing was just that it's an interesting filmmaker, and I feel like when you look back on some of my favorite people, whether it's Edgar Wright or Tim Burton or, David Lynch, I feel like they're just trying different things and they're working outside of the norm. I think one of the things I enjoyed the most about Slice was not being able to explain the plot because it doesn't fit in a box necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love that they, and I love that, on a very small budget, like a teeny tiny budget, they were able to do these big ideas. And I feel like that's the most exciting thing for me is to see someone take a big swing. I think like big swings are so much more exciting than the safe bet.
And I think it's because like the movie plays a nice blend of like indie meets like mainstream almost. Because it's a great
100%.
mixture of both.
Well, I'm so glad that you guys liked it, and I think it's just sort of like, you guys see, I'm sure, like a ton of horror movies, a lot of like low budget horror movies, and there's certain ones that just kind of pop, and there's certain ones that just do things interesting, and then there's some that just become these like classics, and I feel like it's fun. I feel like horror is the only genre that is able to kind of have many different types.
Oh,
of
yeah.
interesting versions. So, yeah.
Hence why we love the genre.
So
Because it's so wide, like what you can like.
And then we had like 3 questions left for you, Paul. They're quick, fast, fun questions about Slice. Patrick, take one away.
How'd you come up with the concept of the super slice?
Well, look, I mean, you got, the pizza business is always ever changing. You got to make sure that you got the best. And so what we did was we just decided to cook pizza extra fat, called the super slice.
I literally ordered a pizza.
No one's doing it.
No one's doing it.
I ordered a pizza the other night, and I was going to take one slice, and I took 2 instead. Said, well, super slice. I'm good with it.
Yeah. And no one's asking me about the cold brew pizza. If you look on the menu behind me, there's cold brew pizza.
That's amazing.
Exactly what that is, but if you do look at the back menu behind Jack in those scenes, I loved reading that menu every day.
That's all.
I feel like that's my tip to anyone out there who loves movies is like, once you've seen a movie once or twice, start looking in the back for all like the set deck jokes.
Yeah, those little nuances definitely like enhance an experience for multiple views and stuff.
Yeah, like seeing Freddy's claw in Evil Dead.
Yes. And then another one.
Yeah.
And then another one, sorry, real quick. In retrospect, was blowing up the pizza shop a good idea?
Probably not. But look, Jack is not about asking. Jack is not about asking questions. Did we destroy the Hellmouth? I don't know. And we just blew it up. And it seems like everyone's against that idea. Jack is not too smart about the entire thing. So, I think he may have just basically had a wider door to the Hellmouth. Really,
that's really true.
Top of it.
Well, you know what? And since you were a pizza shop owner, and you had so many good pizza ideas,
this is the important question.
This is a very important question that I think has the world a little bit divided. And you being the owner of your own establishment, I think you can give proper insight to this question. Does pineapple actually go on pizza?
This is a very. I didn't want to come on this podcast and talk about politics, but I guess if you're gonna force my hand on it, I will. Here's what I say, and it's a controversial opinion. If you like it, then yes. Like if you're no one's forcing you to eat a pineapple pizza. Like I feel that way about everything. Like, why are we so concerned about what other people like? If you like pineapple on pizza, then it belongs on pizza. People put the weirdest stuff on pizza, and they call it pizza. I mean, like Wolfgang puts like cream cheese and lox on pizza. It's like, okay, that's pizza.
It's pizza.
So I would just, if you like it, it's good. I go back to that David Cho show on Netflix where they went around the world checking out different pizza. Like,
I love that show.
Yeah, the Japanese pizza.
It's an amazing show.
Yeah, the Japanese pizza looked insane.
Yeah, that was a good show. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, so I would just say that go your own way, make your own path. Don't let Big Pizza tell you what to put on it or what not to put on it.
That's awesome.
I didn't know we had to look out for Big Pizza.
No,
but now that we know,
you have to.
You got to.
They got their fingers in everything, guys.
Oh God, the marinara sauce is tainted. All right, Paul. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule and talking to us on our show. Like I said, we've thoroughly enjoyed Slice. We loved the character Jack. We're so looking forward to your future endeavors. And, of course, your podcast, How Did This Get Made? We're always listening to backlogged episodes. It's so much fun listening to you guys just rip apart movies that...
Yeah, I downloaded the episode for The Demolition Man when I was on the airplane going to Denver a couple months ago. Yeah, well, Demolition Man is one of my favorite movies ever, and I was like, this is perfect.
I know.
Yeah.
Actually written by the same guy who wrote Van Helsing.
No. God. That makes so much sense.
That's to sell the movie.
Oh, God.
And if you're tired of listening to us rip on movies, I do a new podcast called Unspooled, where we actually watch the best movies of all time.
Hey,
and that's been actually really fun too. Yeah, we're going through the AFI's top 100 list of the 100 best movies and kind of seeing where they all kind of fit, from E.T. to Taxi Driver to Citizen Kane Apocalypse Now, Ben-Hur. It's been really fun. It's been a different way to kind of look at movies, and movies that I feel like I've never seen. I don't know about you guys, but like I never saw Ben-Hur.
No, me either.
Now, so it's like, yeah.
Well,
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, man. Like I said, thank you for joining us on the show. We look forward to seeing your future stuff, and have a good day at Disneyland.
Please remake American Werewolf in London.
Thank you so much. All right. See you later.
Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
As always, guys, I'm Mike.
I'm Pat.
I'm Dylan.
Hope you guys enjoyed this exclusive interview this week. We got some more coming up in the works, so look out for those. Always subscribe to our feeds on Instagram, Twitter, iTunes, and Spotify. Have a good day and stay weird.